It was at this moment that he knew.
He bucked up. Welcome. You're listening to Bucked Up with Sam Buck.
Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. You have fucked up now. Now you fucked up. 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 Now you have fucked up.
Welcome to Bucked Up. Today I have one of my oldest friends. We went to college together, Julio Castillo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Shout out to Josh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, actually, I'm going to start off. We got 3 rules on this podcast, Julio. We got no snitching.
Of course.
Don't snitch on no one.
course.
That's a rule for life.
Facts.
We got positivity. We try to be positive on this shit. And no drugs. This is a drug-free zone.
This is drugs. This is a drug-free
This
zone.
is a drug-free zone.
Drug-free podcast.
A drug-free podcast sponsored by DARE, the DARE program.
That's super interesting. You know, they're probably waiting for me outside because I feel like that program has locked more niggas up than it's helped. Everybody love everybody.
All right, so I guess we'll actually... I'm not going to follow my own rules. We're going to start off with a drug story. We went to Wheaton College, and one night partying, we were both stoned, sober, no drugs or alcohol involved. We found a guy face down at the bottom of a staircase.
He's one of the he's one of the baseball players, and we're just getting our food, trying to go back to this man's dorm, and we're just trying to go get more stoned and play PS4.
No drugs.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we had to go Bible study and all that.
But yeah, we had to go read the Bible.
But we see him at the bottom of the staircase, face down. And the thing that scared me is just how he just jumped up. Sorry, guys. I'm
Coked out of my mind.
literally just.
I've never seen this kid before. I didn't even know if he went to our school. He was just,
He's a townie.
yeah, he was like, I'm coked out of my mind. I wanna kill someone right now.
And the part that's scary, that he hugs us. And he just goes like, but you two, you guys are my boys, right? You guys are my boys. And we're just like, yeah.
Yeah, and we're like, oh shit, and we ran away from him, and I think he went on to murder someone that night. You can read in the Norton News.
The Norton News.
So this is a self-help podcast, which no one understands why, because we never talk about self-help and because I don't know what I'm doing. Hey, thanks to our producer for laughing. do. But I wanted to have you on, 1, because you're my friend, but 2, because you did a big form of self-help recently.
Yeah.
You followed your fucking dreams, and you got out of something that you'd been talking about for a while.
I thought I loved.
Yeah, so you studied finances in college. Do you want to kind of give the story to where we are at right now?
Yeah, so I remember loving finance from, I think, the time I was a senior in high school. And then, you know, I was kind of sold on the fact that I was going to major in finance, go on to do finance, and
It was all you talked about.
all I talked about literally was just like making money, getting out of the hood and whatever. I was so
If you were
driven.
white, we thought you'd be Jewish.
You know what's crazy? I always say, like, I've made a couple of jokes like, I'm Jewing out right now, just like I'm saving my money for something big. Like,
Yeah, we're getting canceled. I was once on stage. I'll let you keep going, but I like to interrupt a lot. I was once on stage, and a guy from the audience yelled, "I don't like this Jew-haired motherfucker on stage."
wow,
Yeah, that was you know I had a great set that night.
wow, that's
I went to go get some beer the other day, and the guy scanned my ID. Do they ever scan your ID?
Look at my shit.
Yeah.
Like,
What 20-year-old has my hairline? That's what I'm like. They don't need to scan my I love this studio. Shout out Irish and Ani. But this angle of the camera makes me so upset. Look at my fucking hairline,
It's
bro.
the McDonald's logo, man. I told you.
The McDonald's look. Oh my god, the golden arch. That's what
It's
it's like.
because you're so tall.
Yeah.
You know.
That's
Sit-
the reason.
Sit back a little bit. There
Lean
you
back.
go. Lean back.
Lean
I'm short.
And
I
just
gotta
bring the
lean.
mic.
I'll do
close
some
to you.
fucking
Crunches.
Shut All right, so you always talked about finances in college.
So I talked about it a lot, and I think I just had some type of madness and some type of blindness to the stories of how unhappy people can be in finance, how you can sacrifice a lot of time, a lot of sleep, and a lot of things that I don't naturally like to give up. Because I'm a free.
Yeah, we live
person.
together. I know.
Exactly. What I'm saying?
I remember it would be like 1 PM, and I'd be like, when is this motherfucker gonna wake up?
It would be Fridays because I didn't have any class, so I'm chilling. So, but those are things that I don't feel like I want to have to change about myself because I want to make money.
Yeah.
I obviously want to make money. I want to have a career, but I started thinking maybe there's other ways to manifest what I'm good at and what I.
It's not all about money. You kind of have to be happy and hopefully find a way that money will come to you following a passion.
And but the difficult thing about it for a lot of people in my community is that you're not exposed to a lot of money. For example, you're not exposed to a lot of things money can get you, such as sufficient after-school programs or sufficient healthcare, sufficient food quality. You go to neighborhoods with maybe lower valued property or lower looking valued property before gentrification started fucking things up. And you can kind of see maybe older cars in your neighborhood. And then if you ever get the chance to experience neighborhoods like I did, for example, playing baseball, like Little League, such as Newton, Weymouth, Norwood, people drive around in 3 Series BMWs and shit like that, getting exposed to shit like that. And even in your own community, you see like that one hood dude driving around in a very awfully contracted leased BMW.
Yeah.
And you see it on television, you see it everywhere. You're exposed to just wealth and shit that you can't attain in your current situation.
And they're not teaching you about credit or how.
Nobody.
I was reading Kevin Hart's new book, The Decision, was very good. Or it's an audio book.
Yeah.
But he's starting a program with. Can you look up what bank Kevin Hart's starting a program with? I don't want to.
I think it was J.P. Morgan.
It might be, and he's starting. Financial literacy
teaching
in the
financial literacy in the
and I
inner
think
cities.
that's really important
Right.
because I'm privileged enough to have gone to a private school my whole life, even though my mom was a teacher, and that's how I was able to go. I was able to
Chase Bank?
Chase Bank. Okay,
Oh,
with
Chase.
Chase, he's doing financial literacy in the inner city.
One United.
JP Morgan Chase. All right,
Looks
perfect.
like a couple.
Yeah, so like in 7th grade, they gave us fake money and they pretended to have us play the stock market for like a month. And like
In 7th grade?
in 7th grade,
First
that's
time
what
I
we
was
were
exposed to
learning.
that, I was a junior in high school.
Yeah, and
I
that's
was
fucked
I was in
up.
private
Like
school. I was in private school.
yeah, and that's fucked up that like I don't know, I feel like those are the classes that we learn are important, like math
Right.
and science and history, but they also have to have another class that teaches like it's not just math, but like finance,
Life skills.
Exactly, yeah.
Because I feel like we just naturally either through instruction of our parents that not everybody's fortunate enough to have, or just by exposing it somewhere else, reading in a book, seeing on TV, Googling it yourself, on how to take care of ourselves, how to start cooking, how to start cleaning, how to maybe taxes work.
Well, you have so much drive, and you've got to build kind of up who you are through that, even from when you were younger. Like you would tell me, watching Family Guy growing up would help you, like
understand vocabulary.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
Because like I want to get the joke, so it's like if Peter, Stewie, whoever said, especially Stewie, had an extensive vocabulary.
Yeah.
And so.
Did you speak? You spoke Spanish before English, or was it around the same? Were you learning? Were you bilingual?
I think it
growing
was
up?
maybe around the same time. I think my earliest memories of speaking would be like talking to my mother, and then also watching Blue's Clues and learning English that way. And my sister also spoke English to me.
That probably helped you a lot be able to learn new concepts and ideas. I am so bad with second languages, and I think it's hard because I can't turn my brain into something else. Like I can't, I have to mold it only in the way that it will work. But when you have two different languages, your brain can kind of work in two different ways, and you can learn more, I feel like, from both.
Right. And that's kind of how I think, that I just don't really like settling in one mental environment. So for example, like, you know, I went on to graduate with a finance degree, went on to my first job as a financial advisor, and I quit like my third, fourth week. You know, by the fourth day, I was already looking at other job listings. Then
what was it? What about that? Like for people listening who maybe would want to go into that, what were you not taught?
There's not necessarily what I wasn't taught or what I wasn't ready for. I think actually no, it was kind of what I wasn't ready for, and also kind of what I was sold on, because I was sold on the idea that, you know, you will have a list of clients already ready for you, and you'll get paid this much already guaranteed, and then commission. You know, I sign on, whatever, eager as hell. It's my first job. It's a flex job. I even have to get 2 licenses for it. And then they tell me that first I have to acquire a list of 10 to 15 clients first, and then that's when
Is that cold calls? Like,
cold calling. Yeah, like then it's not even, they don't even have a list of
yeah, and
suitable
it's not like you're
clients.
not an insurance agent. Like,
Right, and it's also like how many people, who are the main people that I know? People from my neighborhood, people from surrounding neighborhoods. People from my type of neighborhoods and surrounding neighborhoods, maybe inner city, low income neighborhoods, are not trusting of anybody saying, let's work with your money.
Yeah.
I know I'm not. Anybody who
Give
calls
me
my-
your money and I'm
Right,
gonna invest
right.
it for you.
Most people are going to say, fuck you.
Right.
Like-
And also that's what the Kevin Hart's working on, is they don't even know about investing. So they're
Exactly.
just thinking they're stealing they just know about
Exactly.
Bernie Madoff. Like,
Exactly. The thing, and exactly. And the thing is, when you hoard your money, it's like it's like you're hoarding campfire. You accidentally spark a flame, it goes away. Because we also,
That's a good fucking Oh, thank you for the no, that's a really good point. Yeah.
my thing is like, and it's no fault of our own, but people on average in my community don't necessarily have the best spending habits, because, like, for example, I think my friend told me the other day, my community makes up for 86% of consumerism. 86%, and we are 14% of the population.
Yeah, it's the rich get richer and the poor don't get poor. It's not like the wealthy are hoarding money, and then
Right.
the less money you have, the more you have to spend to get the necessities, because products only last long if you pay a lot of money for them.
Right.
Like,
And like here's where I see this. Here's why I really started seeing the inequality line really a lot clearer, because I do kind of want to say that maybe my judgment was diluted in college with everything being thrown around, all these ideals and everything. My instincts to just want to be different. You know, I'll get to that later, but you know, I'm undersold on several different things as my role as an advisor. And it's just cold calling people, and people are not that trusting. So I can't generate a lot of business, and at the same time, it's like I have to pay for gas, I have to pay for rent still. Like
Yeah.
so it's like I'm in a fucked up situation.
you're losing money.
Exactly. So I quit my 4th week. So my second,
Did that feel like? Were you scared, or was it a weight off your shoulders?
it was a weight off my shoulders, because I knew I was going to be unhappy. Like I knew I was going to be unhappy. I felt it, and I kept trying to convince myself in those 4 weeks that that this is going to work out eventually. And I'm not saying that it happens to everybody. You know, if you know, eventually, if it's for you, it's for you. It wasn't for me, and I was lying to myself. So I in my mind, I'm like, all right, maybe I just need a different role. This was as an advisor role. Maybe I need more of an accounting managerial role. I applied for what was it, like a biopharmaceutical logistics bullshit company in the accounting department. They're going through some budget cuts because they're going to move their office, and they laid off everybody who was there for less than 3 months.
And you had just gotten in.
I just gotten there like a month and a half in. So I'm fucked again. And
That seems like they should. That seems bad business planning.
It-
Like, let's hire a bunch of people, and then 3 months later, like if they haven't worked here for 3 months, let's fire them. Like, You don't have any 1 year plan, not even like a 6-month plan, a 1 year plan, a
first job-
5-year plan.
My first job had all that plan laid out, and I just want to put out that my first job was very organized in the way that it can work, and especially like I've seen success stories there, but it just wasn't for me. My first job was merely just out of instinct that I'm not happy, and I needed to be happy in what I'm doing.
I'm sorry, I had to turn the AC on. It's
Yeah,
hot
that's
as
fine.
fuck in
Yeah, I
here.
was about to say somebody going to have to do it. I was going to get up to myself. And do
I
it
was turning into fucking SpongeBob when he
Jesus.
goes to visit Sandy.
when his eyes were dry. Water. I need it.
I actually just made a meme with that exact GIF today.
Can you pull it up? Can we see it?
Yeah.
All right, you keep
guys
talking
keep
about
talking.
you keep talking about finances. We're gonna see.
Wow, my favorite character of all time is just on the screen. But then my third job was going great, and things also didn't work out. So, and I also felt unhappy there too. I wasn't unhappy because of where I was at, but because I felt like, again, I was trying to convince myself I'm in a situation where
It was a interior.
it was an interior design firm, yeah. And
No
That's
way.
not-
yeah, it
In
was
Boston?
Newton, yeah. It was like
I used to work in interior design for 10 years.
what?
Yeah.
It's
I just
interesting.
switched.
It's really interesting.
We
though.
can bleep out the company name. What was it called?
Or you can just put it on your phone if you don't want to say it, and I'll look at your
Oh
phone.
yeah, you can just bleep it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I worked for Designer Advantage,
Okay.
and they were great, honestly.
Mhm.
Just things didn't work out.
Yeah, you're not
guess-
really into interior design. I lived with you. You were very minimalist.
I mean, nah, because I felt like my space was minimalized. So I was like, oh fuck it, I don't want to really try. I just put up a couple.
I
pictures
put
here.
way too much
Yeah,
shit
this
up.
shit look
No,
like the
I-
actual home. I'm just
yeah.
like, you know what? This makes it feel like enough like home.
Oh wait. That's a good. All right, wait. Let's.
Oh, Jesus.
So it didn't work out.
It didn't work out. My morale was also affecting my performance there, and they took note of that. And things didn't work out. Things with COVID are also stressful as hell. My mind was taken away from there. It wasn't mostly because I was knowing people that were dying from it, but just like I'm a germaphobe myself, so it's like
Yeah, you are.
I just felt like, damn it, I gotta work from home. It's stressful as hell, and so I'm over here blasting church music in the kitchen while I'm working from home. But there's no malice with either company.
Getting fired was one of the best things that happened to me because I was able to focus on comedy full time.
Me too.
Right.
And I was able to realize, when you quit, it's you're still on top. But when you get let go or fired, and you catch your footing, then you feel so much safer. You
Right.
know that you can
You gotta
do
eject
it.
it from the seat and you can't call
Exactly.
yourself, right.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's crazy because I got let go from my first company,
Mhm.
and I
Because they
felt-
had very bad planning. I'm gonna put that out there.
but
No, am I wrong, Ani, that sounds so stupid?
What?
That they just fire everyone they hired within the fucking.
I've definitely been there. So
it wasn't even
I've
like 30
definitely
people. It was probably
experienced that before.
it wasn't
so.
even like 30 people. It was like maybe 4 or 5.
But
Okay.
Everybody love everybody!
I'm sorry. Maybe all I know is Instagram and
How old is
burritos.
you? How old is you?
Are you talking to me?
I'm old, yeah.
Oh yeah, you
so
are.
I've just experienced that shit.
Nah, but I was kind of a little bit relieved because I had a conversation with my friend Anthony just like last year about him going back to my old middle school. It was a private Catholic school for the inner city kids in the community. Boston, Roxbury, Dorchester, Hyde Park, Mattapan, Rosendale, so on and so forth. And he went back to teach there. And
Bet some berries were getting rocked in a private Catholic school.
but stop, chill. Nah, this school is not like them fucking South Boston ones. This one is different. Like you feel safe when you're there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just completely forget that you're in the inner city.
Oh, I wasn't making a joke about that. I was making a joke about priests.
Oh, priest. We
Yeah.
didn't have. Well, we had a father, but he was like a businessman too. It was
Daddy.
Just like,
Just so I don't get canceled again on this episode, I was not talking about the inner city. I was
no.
talking.
Man, Man, it was just pretty. So I don't know, man. But we had a great experience going there. We talked about it. He went back to teach there, and it's different because the culture is different there. Because more and more kids that look like the students are going back to teach there, and that's important because these kids need to know that, like, I'm a symbol that you can make it. Or
it's a real problem if you move away and then they don't have any of the role models.
Exactly.
You have to go back in.
And I'm not saying I had too many white teachers when I was in middle school, but it was like I listened more to my Dominican teacher and my African American principal and my African American vice principal. I felt closer to them because I felt more relatable to them. It's no disrespect to my white teachers. No, but it was like I still listened. I'm obedient as hell when I was a child. I feared punishment. I hated detention because my mom would find out and click clack, there goes my ass.
We should get that as a drop. Click clack, there goes my ass.
There goes my ass. But I just felt like I could talk to them about stuff outside of school. Just like how their lives went, like how was what made them want to go to college.
Did you have like a one teacher that, or was it more just the collective, which is maybe more important, having like a collective of teachers?
I think for me it was more the collective because it kind of draws a pattern for you. For me it drew a pattern that teaching could be worth it. The hours are crazy. The pay may not be that great, which in the state of Massachusetts is actually pretty good.
You get the summers off. My mom always
got the summers off. You know what I'm saying?
you get low pay, but you got half the year.
To that bread. There is some butter to that bread right there. But
you're gonna get canceled by the vegans for that.
Shy, and the gluten-free ones.
The gluten-free motherfuckers.
I used to hate them at Chipotle, man. I used to work at the.
I worked. We both rolled burritos.
Yeah, but I used to just not give a fuck.
Mine would come out with cones in them. That was a Josh Adams joke. I'm not going to steal it.
Oh no, Josh, he was joking. But yeah, I remember what the hell was I talking about before this whole goddamn
about the having teaching. Because it's not like it's just an outlier.
Right.
That's the norm of these.
Exactly. Yeah. And it made me realize, and I was also doing social justice work as my whole after school job from when I was 15 to when I graduated high school. Even my summers, I would either be doing.
Remember rule number 1? We can't talk about that job.
Which one? No drugs?
Just kidding. That was not the job he was doing. That was.
Oh, no. Chill. No.
Everybody love everybody.
Everybody love everybody. I was doing social justice work. And I had some great mentors there too. And then I kind of saw the correlation between teaching and that, and I kind of felt comfortable in that, seeing him grow as a man and manifest all his intelligence through that. He's doing a fellowship currently there.
Oh, that's really cool.
Getting his master's and he's becoming a role model to so many kids, something that I've always wanted to be. Like, I naturally always want to be a rock star to people, but you can be, not to be corny, but you can be a rock star to these kids. So
yeah, you don't have to be on a big scale. I would have friends be like, I want to be famous, and it's like,
but what's it worth?
But it's like you're not giving a path. Like, you found this teaching, and what if your thing is now you teach finances? Like, all this shit about it. You can use it. Like, it's not like wasted time. Everything.
I actually did exactly that with interior design.
Top financial literacy.
Oh, yeah, that's why you were teaching my ass.
Oh, exactly.
She taught interior design to my ass.
You see what I'm saying? Like, and all those kids that probably learned that.
I mean, didn't Mount Ida get shut down?
I taught there, but I also taught at a school that still exists recently.
But you see, like, all those people that you taught, to do it, because they know how to do it them damn selves. All they got to do is just go buy the shits and boom, they're gonna spend $5,000 doing it.
The design school still actually exists. It's just on a different campus. UMass owns them now.
So why did it get shut down at Mount Ida?
That is a separate issue from the program.
Okay. Was it like frat related?
No, it was just
They always fuck things up for colleges.
No, it was like they're in a lot of debt mostly.
Oh yeah, did you see that?
I'm sorry, Newton?
Yes.
Newton's property taxes are crazy, no? So how about
It used to be an estate. We are so getting off topic, but
Yeah, but still. And my old company was in Newton, so maybe.
oh shit.
All right, no, but I saw.
Back on topic now. What's
I
that
saw-
gun brought us back to?
I saw how happy he was, even working these hours,
Mm-hmm.
teaching, correcting papers. Weekends they do community service. He has to get up early to take the kids to that. He said it's all worth it, and I saw it was worth it. I've gone to some of these events with him. I still go to the school and say what's up to the kids, and
Mm-hmm.
before COVID, and just play basketball with them. And I felt so much more fulfilling doing that, and thinking about the idea of doing that as a career.
Yeah.
Then I can do making a company some money. And that's, again, it's not saying that it's a bad thing if you want to go into business and it's for you. It's for you, but just don't lie to yourself.
Well, you also learned valuable information that you can then pass on.
To kids.
But you also learned how to build your own portfolio. I've been trying to do research on building my portfolio. It's hard, and it's
hard.
it's simple, but it's hard.
hard,
It's
exactly.
hard to get into it, but it
Exactly.
seems like it's so easy once they play the game.
It's exactly. It's like it's like I don't know if you ever played any SpongeBob video games, but
Oh, I rebought
The
the.
rehydrated
I
ones? Yeah.
bought that.
So you
Shout
know
out
what
SpongeBob Battle for
Right,
Bikini
right.
Bottom Rehydrated.
Dude, and I love even the PS2 version. I used to fucking.
I
love.
used to love that
So
game.
you know how it's.
Don't
so
be
simple.
making fun of us over there.
You know how the levels are so easy, but goddamn, there's like 7 different parts to each level,
Yeah.
and you want to get as many spatulas as you can because you can't. You suddenly on your last level before the you can open the gate to the next level. You're still what 15 spatulas behind. You got to figure out how the fuck am I gonna get all this in one level.
This is great for a self-help podcast. I have a Switch, so I play it on the go, which is amazing.
Oh, you came out for the Switch too? Oh, that's so therapeutic to play that game high, man. I mean, after Bible study. After Bible study, I just,
You after closing up that Bible,
closing up that good old Bible.
Bible, and
Bible.
pulling out SpongeBob.
I just like to take a couple of hits of Jesus.
A couple hits of our Lord and Savior.
Just that. The Leviticus.
So dumb. All right.
But what
Is that how? Okay, we play the West Side Gun sound when we get off track.
Okay, I got you.
All right, bet. That's smart.
Yeah.
But then I thought to myself, I can do this, and I can incorporate what I learned in finance, and maybe start at teaching. Who knows? Maybe I'll start at teaching, go to administration, and then kind of use my knowledge of who, what, when, and where, why of finance in my community. And, I get to have a say in how many black kids are allowed at this school, how many black kids we take at this school, to make sure that schools like Wheaton aren't 70-30.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and also to make sure maybe I can work in financial aid, because there's just absolutely no reason that an inner city kid should have to pay so much debt.
I was.
Schools have money. It's
Did
like-
you collect any of PUA or unemployment?
Not yet.
Okay, so something I realized, Anna, you did,
I didn't.
is it's really hard to understand how to do it. Like
Oh, yeah.
all the wording they try, it's like word
If I
games.
didn't
It's like
know-
an SAT. It's honestly like an SAT test.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this. These programs are, I mean, this is probably really simple, and this is probably something that everyone talks about, but the synapses in my brain connected. If you're like only educated people, like those programs are helped to set up people who need it.
Right.
But people who need it can't even
Understand.
understand
Right.
them or get to the Wi-Fi to get them.
Right.
And it's only to help the middle class or the upper class that
It's
when they
system-
don't really
it's
need
like a
it.
systemic disadvantage to like
Exactly. So it's like, even though, like, I was trying to explain it to my mom, and she was like, these programs are set up in place to help these inner city communities. But then I went through it with her,
Yep.
and then she was like, no, she's a well-educated grown woman, and she could barely understand the grammar questions. It's like a fucking SAT test.
My mom is pretty freaking smart. I get it from her. My mom is pretty freaking intelligent, and it's like, it's a hassle. I think in they have a Spanish option. They say it in Spanish, and she says it gives her a freaking headache. Not because it's hard, but it's just like just so damn complex.
Yeah.
It's just like, yo, just give me my money, man. Like I told you, yes, just.
And we can even talk about
Can I
like
send you my blood, and you could just say like, yes, I'm still employed if you want to check that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not lying. I
it
don't know.
was. Did you realize that it was like difficult?
I mean, I have had to be on unemployment a couple times, so I feel like the third time.
Third
I
time's
was
the
like,
charm.
I got
yeah.
it, but I remember back the first time that I did it. I mean, that was when you could like actually go into the unemployment office and try to get help.
Well,
but
I
that
did-
was a fucking depressing nightmare.
See, I did that too, and you had to schedule like certain times for certain meetings. So if you have a family and you're in the city and you're you have like kids to take care of it, and you might not be able to make that exact meeting, and then you can't collect money if you don't make this meeting. It's a system set up to kind of fuck itself over.
And it's crazy because you know how, let's say the building is 2 towns away. I don't have a car. Let's say that this happens to a lot of people. I don't have a car.
It's
I
what
have
they
to
do in
take-
abortion clinics in the South. They
Yeah,
close
they-
them down so no one can travel to
This
them.
this essentially happened to me. So I mean, the first time that I had applied for unemployment was a long time ago. It was pretty much fine once I got it set up. The second time was for a shorter amount of time, but it was so backed up. You couldn't get an appointment. You had to just go there and wait in line that I didn't even get an unemployment check until after I already got a job. And that was like maybe 2 or 3 months.
What?
Yeah, it like I could
It's 2,
not
3
get
months
an
of bills.
answer. Yeah, and thank God I was living at home and I had kind of like side work going or whatever, so I could pay my bills. But
That's
the
rule
second
number
time was like
No
rough.
snitching on yourself,
Rule
remember.
number 1.
Rule
Rough.
number 3.
None of that side hustle talk. If you're selling Bibles, we're selling Bibles, all right?
Yeah, no, I was like a hostess.
Oh,
Okay, I'll give you
oh, I
that.
got
Same.
worried with that. I
Nothing-
thought you were like, I was a hoe. I was
no,
like,
no.
oh,
I was
Jesus
like, you
Christ.
know,
Unemployment,
you can
speed
only
it up.
claim-
You're turning
you can
out
only
prostitutes.
claim so many hours where they still pay you.
Yeah, no.
So you couldn't like I'm not saying I did this, but like let's say that I worked
Allegedly.
more than the allotted amount of hours, I could get fucked up for that shit. So
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. Nah.
It's just-
Everybody love everybody!
There's a lot of snitching in that portion of the podcast.
I promise you, I ain't no fraud.
No snitching, no government snitching.
I'm a real ass
We
bitch.
ain't no Wesley Snipes.
but that's the thing. Like I really want to. I'm so excited with like how much I can do for my community, and yeah, like make some money doing it. It's like
Yeah.
I realized that exactly what my cousin told me, because he's also going down the same path, teaching and everything, masters and everything. I just want to be comfortable and comfortably live. Yes, meaning like, you know, obviously own my own home, own my partner, all that. Make money. Obviously, I don't want to be rich.
Have you started building your own portfolio? Do you do any of that or no?
Like little by little, like as really much as I can.
How much money have you put in?
I think the last time I checked my my acorns was somewhere like 540, and there was another one that I forgot.
Yeah.
The other one, I forgot the other one, but that's more recent. That's probably like 60 something right now. But my acorns one is I started back. I think the first time I got laid off was, I think I started that in November. Yeah, I put like $20 into it, and they just take $10 out every week, and then just like put it in the market. It took a shit hit when COVID hit, but it's slowly getting back up there.
That's good.
But that's things that I could teach my kids. That's things that I'm excited to like research about, and that's not the same type of excitement I felt about finance. The only thing that excited me about finance, honestly, was the luxurious attitude I can flaunt and the money that I can make.
Was it the animal brain, the monkey? Like it's the same thing with sports, kind of, where it's like you want to be the best, you want to be the top.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a community building thing.
Yeah, and I just wanted to flex. Honestly, I just wanted to flex, and honestly, and I obviously use the money that I make to help my community. But that's just honestly, it's just a cheap way to me. Not saying that donating money to your community is bad or whatever, but to me, it seems cheap. Like I'd rather just do more, like build programs, fund programs, be on the boards of those programs.
Who were your how did you learn about finance? Like who taught you?
I honestly taught myself. It was
What got you into it? Were you like
the 2008 crisis. I was curious as to like, I'm like, why the fuck is everybody bugging out? Like, what people losing their homes? What happened? Like, I'm just then I'm thinking about Lehman Brothers, I'm reading about JP Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading about what was that, Wells Fargo. I'm reading about how they like fucked so many people's pension. I'm in the fifth
only
grade.
like 3 people got charged.
Got arrested. Yeah. And I'm baffled. I'm like this kind of.
Well, I was just reading the Malcolm Gladwell book where he was talking about Bernie Madoff.
Dude, at the age of how old was I in the 5th grade? At the age of what, 11? I'm understanding this is a huge imbalance of justice.
Do you think, like, I feel like comedy is like not my calling, but like, yeah, my calling. Like, I felt like it was given to me. I didn't choose it.
Right.
Did you feel like finances were given to you, or do you feel like you chose it?
I felt like I felt like it was put in front of me, but I misinterpreted what I was supposed to do with it. I felt like I was supposed to take it and just use it for my own gain and get the fuck out of my situation. But knowing the person that I am, I'm someone who likes to help. I'm someone who likes to give advice. I'm someone who likes to teach and watch something or someone grow. Like, people in my own family look at me as role models and as big brothers, and that is honestly the most fulfilling feeling I've ever had. A couple of my cousins look at me like that because I've never been a big brother. I'm always the little brother. I'm always the little cousin. You know what I'm saying? So.
And you and your sister are both flexing now. Like, you guys are fucking doing shit. You guys are both really, you know.
She's a queen right now. She's literally the what I seek to be in terms of, you know, happiness, or not necessarily happiness in career, but happiness in terms of happy where you are.
Yeah.
And she's always someone who wants more, so that keeps me going too.
And that's good that you realize that you want to help people with this. Not like
Right.
Like with comedy, I don't want to do comedy to get rich and famous. If that comes, great. But the only reason I want to do comedy is because when I didn't understand the world, I understood comedians. Like, this is probably cheesy and corny. I don't
doesn't every big comedian have that?
Exactly. It's like
no big comedian went in it for the money.
I just want to help people like I was helped. Like, if I can fucking make a joke that makes fucking 10 kids that were like me be like, oh, I understand it a little bit more. Like, I understand this world a little bit more. It's like you're making friends
around the world on a global.
Yeah, exactly. That's like even with this podcast. I don't really care about the listeners. Like, I love if people listen, and when people listen, I want them to listen. But I want to get information out of people, and I also want to just like learn how to be a better miner of information out of people, so then people can learn from, like, the better of an interviewer I get, the deeper I can get, say, into your conversation, learn more from you, and then the listeners would benefit out of that.
Right, and that's the cherry on top of my whole metamorphosis. That it was months in the making. Honestly, it was like a little tiny feeling culminating, boom, on my 23rd birthday, and I asked myself randomly when I turned 23, like, what do I want to be? I want to be happy. Literally just happy. I felt happy that the first time I got out of the house, and first time in months to see my friends, you know, it was a safe list. You know, obviously I kept the responsible short.
Yeah.
And fairly distanced. And I felt happy. And I was like, I want to feel like this and work. I like working, but I only like working as if I'm happy. When I was working in social justice, you know, I didn't go to work a day unhappy. I was eager to get there to see my friends and coworkers there. You know what I'm saying?
Because you're helping, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, because like you're doing what you do. It doesn't even seem like work.
I think that's so. You and I don't want to speak for you, but you and I are both on the field that capitalism can be used for good. It's not a good system right now, but it can be used for good. But I think the bad thing about capitalism is it only teaches you to go after like items that you can touch.
Right.
It doesn't teach you that you actually benefit out of helping people.
Right.
You actually like if you go to the gym one day, you're not going to see any gains. But if you go to the gym every day, you're going to see gains, and then that's going to help your mental health.
You want
and then
the short-term gain.
Exactly.
You want the short-term, short-risk gain.
You want to spend money and get the thing automatically.
Right.
You don't want to put the work in to build the community, which ends up getting more out of it.
Exactly. So, and the thing that I realized that capitalism does to people, especially this was after I'd watched Lakeith Stanfield's movie Sorry to Bother You. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's watching it after Bible study is amazing. So It
Do you ever read the Bible while watching it?
Yeah, all the time back at school. But it teaches you, and it taught me that capitalism instills an animalistic sense of every man for himself, and it also instills in black and brown kids in the inner city with an inner city background, maybe it instills this sense of trauma that you don't want to look back, and you're so hell-bent on running forward that you don't want to look behind you, and you'll do whatever it is to get this imaginary paintbrush and just paint the past away.
It's post-generational trauma.
Thank you. Post-generational trauma.
Yeah.
One of the Army Hammer said that in an interview, and I spent like 6 months trying to freaking find that interview, but I couldn't. But yeah, that post-generational trauma, you're doing so much, and you will do whatever it takes, as much as sell your soul maybe, to just get what you want, and it'll in the hopes that it'll make you forget about where you came from, because it was probably a scary place. It was a disadvantaged place.
The way that your brain develops, like as a child or an adult, can affect how your kid, how their brain develops.
Right.
So that's where the
Am I-
post-generational trauma comes in, like kids of genocide or stuff like that.
Right.
too.
And my parents didn't install. Oh, he's making a new rule. No snitching.
Don't talk about that.
I love everybody.
But it's funny. But yeah, my parents never taught me to really care about money or care about the materialistic, you know. But this did not come from my parents. My parents did their hardest to give me what I wanted. They put me in private school, for God's sakes. You know, they figured it out. Like, thank God I was in scholarship programs that would pay for a lot of my student costs.
They taught you drive.
They taught me.
They don't
drive.
have to just give you money. They have to teach you drive. That
Exactly.
is, I am very privileged, but I was not taught drive. I was taught to be given things, and I had to learn that on my own. I had to teach myself to be given drive. That thing right there, you knew, I feel like I was a nice person, but I had a tick. I had like an anger tick to me, and it was something that was taught through, I saw in my family, just anger outbursts. So then it was something, but when I did that, that's what that song Ego Death is.
Right.
It's like I had this feeling where it's like, oh, I can become whoever I want to be. I'm not locked down to this. I don't want to say generational trauma in my sense, but I'm not locked into this person who I was, who I didn't like. I can be a person who I do like.
Right.
Just like you can help. You don't have to be scared of your
evolve.
past. You can, exactly.
You make it. It's a
Exactly.
part of you. You don't forget it, but it doesn't
Exactly.
have to define you.
I think
And that thing helped me a lot with that, because you did know me. I would be angry. I was an angry person under the surface.
Yeah. But like, and it's funny because like every time you get mad, I would just like laugh, like you remind me of my dad sometimes. But like, nah.
It was because I saw it growing up myself.
Yeah,
and
me
then
too.
I didn't realize that wasn't something that was good.
Right.
So I had to.
Right. But my thing is, it wasn't through no fault of my parents. It's not like they couldn't get me shoes, and like that's just what kind of
No.
sparked the flame. It was just me going out into my environment, and then going out into other environments when I was in private school or playing soccer, baseball, whatever, in these uppity neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And I just said to myself, well, I have every God-given right to have this too. So I looked at where my feet are at in the race in comparison to, I don't know, maybe Jake from
State Farm.
Newtonville. That's why I came up with Jake, right? And I can see that I'm maybe 5 feet further than he is when we're starting the race. Not even when we're in it, when we're starting. So I have to run faster to get to that finish line, and I understood that. My father worked 2 jobs just to keep us afloat and to be able to, give us comfort. And I said that's not something I want to do. So that's what that drive did to me. It blinded me to my own feeling and emotion and my own comfort in the pursuit of what I want. I was blinded that I didn't think that my own happiness had to be a thing that I didn't have to sacrifice.
Do you feel like, what do you think is your resistance? Like what holds you back?
My insecurity. Because like another reason I also loved going to finance is I could feel powerful. You know what I'm saying? Like, the culture of, American capitalist businesses, You know, you flex with a nice suit, the nice car, the wingtip shoes, and you just walk out. You just walk out with a sense of entitlement. I don't think that would have been the person I was, but subconsciously, that would have grown there. And I feel like I was probably at risk of passing that to my children. You know, giving them comfort, and they develop a little sense of entitlement. Shit, I feel entitled sometimes myself when I'm driving. I feel like people need to get the fuck out of my way. Like, I'm the one who's driving past the yield sign, and they got to yield to me.
Exactly. Well, yeah, that's you have to realize what you have. I think insecurity is a big thing with me too. Like, even with this podcast, I get nervous every week before releasing an episode, but it's like I recorded it, I put the work into it. I don't know why. It's just that insecurity. It's like, I don't know.
Are you like afraid of being judged?
Yeah, I have
Why?
like
You're a comic. You get up on stage.
I know, but I have this feeling.
Come on.
Feminist.
I don't. But this is the thing. This is honestly the thing. Like, I can go up and say whatever, but that's my higher self. When I'm on stage, that's my higher self. And when I come back down into my body, I'm an insecure person. I'm nervous. I'm an only child. I feel like everyone doesn't like me. I feel like I'm annoying. Like, I have these thoughts like, I'm reading this book, Into the Magic Shop. You can.
I have a question. I didn't want to throw you off.
Yeah, of course.
But like, I mean, I would argue that podcasts, are an extension of comedy, and especially this is your craft. You know what I mean? So why wouldn't you apply that same idea of like my higher self when you're like getting ready or prepping, or like you're doing kind of your same type of ritual type thing? The same way that you would before you get on stage. You know
I
what
think
mean?
that's why I have to write out my comedy.
Right.
Is because I'm not in my head. If I have something prepared, then I can
used to
just
be
go
that
to
way.
that. But when I'm in my head, that's when. So I'm reading this book, Into the Magic Shop, and they're talking about how like there's always going to be the radio DJ in your head that's saying shitty stuff about you. It's just about tuning it out and like turning it down. Even if it's there, you just like don't have to listen to it.
Right.
And like mine's just fucking loud. Like the radio DJ in my head is like, tonight on 1-800 Sam sucks. Like it doesn't fuck. Yeah, and that'll be when I'm running and stuff. That'll be my problem. Is like I'll be 5 miles into a run, which is a long run.
I can't do that.
And I'll be like, "You're such a fucking bitch. Come on, Sam. You're a fucking bitch. Just keep going. You're a fucking bitch." And then I'll be like, "Wait, why am I being hard on myself? I should love myself."
Jesus Christ.
And
But
that's the
Sam,
thing that
the voice
pushes
of-
me
You
forward.
know this better than a lot of people, especially in that book, War of Art, that we always talk about.
Yeah,
That's resistance.
exactly.
That's all that is.
It
so
sounds like
once
Joe
you
Jackson
can
was in your
like
head.
hold that, I obviously listened to it today, right? Like
Exactly.
it's fresh in my mind. but that's just. I mean, you want to be quick on your feet. This craft requires you to be.
Yeah.
So
Right.
writing it down. I mean, I used to do that all the time. Especially, I would get yelled at all the time. Don't bring your notebook on stage. Like, especially whenever. But that gives you another survival skill when you
Yeah.
can be quick on your feet. You know.
Yeah, that's like the first time I saw you when you were drunk after a concert.
Oh, yeah, I literally went there for the purpose of bombing to
Yeah.
put myself in an uncomfortable position. To
You know what?
Get
I even
myself through
remember
it.
what concert you went to.
it
was Bishop Briggs.
Yes, it was.
I don't know why I remember that.
Yes,
You
it
might have
was.
talked about it on stage.
I might have. Yes,
it was
I probably
that,
did.
It was
And-
that embarrassing.
And
I'm
I
just
I was like, I came up with jokes. I knew I was going to do this kind of. I was like, I want to go tell jokes still, whatever, but I also want to get drunk. And then I was like, well, let me do both. And let me master it. And I can't master it without fucking it up first.
I
So,
definitely can't do that teaching. You know, if I
You
feel
can't-
nervous,
you
I'm just like, all right, kids.
All right.
but think about it. You do
We're
it.
teaching you about the 401k.
That's a kind of an extreme thing to do.
It's a fucking money when
But-
you get old.
I mean, I can't say the thing, but on this podcast, one of these rules that we can't talk about.
Bibles, yeah.
But I mean, when you get used to doing things when you read the Bible, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
Yeah, that's fast.
That's
it's
true.
the same thing.
I would read the Bible before going to class.
we both would. We both would. And we would just be so full of Jesus.
I would go to the bathroom to read the Bible.
We would be. We would be so full of the Holy Spirit's love in class that like, yo, I swear to God.
Guys,
like,
guys, you see the how the cameras are a little fuzzy? That's just the Holy Spirit.
That's the Holy Spirit. That's what I'm saying. It's like
just the Holy Spirit.
It's not in the Bible. It's like, but we would be so full of the Holy Spirit in class that I would absorb a lot more information because
Yeah.
I just got used to it.
It helped us lose weight. We lost a lot of fun reading Jesus was our fitness guide, our fitness guru.
It was also our motivation. Because I don't know why I was more motivated going to run after reading the Bible.
When we lived together, we were a bunch of fat asses, and then we
It's
just
because you like to test yourself. It's like a natural thing.
When I'm hiding
No.
myself from the Bible.
You're putting yourself in a situation where you're like, can I apply these things in the Bible to real life in this situation?
It uncovers.
My mom
Feel me?
was reading the Bible the other night for the first time, and
Ever?
it made her really uncomfortable. It was too much
not used to
Jesus. And I think it's because she, I don't know, like when I first was reading the Bible, I got scared of myself. Like I was scared of certain thoughts I had,
Remember I thought
but
my
then
hair
I
was on
had
fire?
to like get exactly.
Remember, I thought my hair was on fire.
Oh, wait. Oh, Ani. So we were reading the Bible in the McDonald's drive-thru one night. and Julio was really feeling religious. And he was like, we got to get out of here, man. They're going to know we know about Jesus. They're going to call the police and tell them that we know about Jesus.
Yo, the
I'm
fast food worker could give less of a fuck.
90% of McDonald's
Employees.
clienteles are coming from church.
Right.
Oh my God.
Right. It's
Like, they're not going to call the police.
That's not even the worst part of it, though. We're driving back, and I already kind of feel stupid for that McDonald's incident. But we're driving back, and I'm just like, take my hat off, and I'm just like, dog, what the hell? He's like, what? I'm like, is it not hot, man? Like, I feel like my head is on fire. What the fuck? He's like, he's laughing because he don't know what the hell is going on. I'm just like, I guess I start getting angry for some reason. I punch his car. I'm like, oh my God, my hair is hot, man. Pull over.
It was the devil inside.
We finally get to school, we park, and I get out, I breathe some fresh air. I swear to God, it turned off like that. Oh shit, that was, whew, I feel better.
Oh my God.
But yeah,
self-help. Do you do any work? Do you work out at all? You
I
stayed thin. See, I go up and down depending if I'm if I'm happy, I'm fat, and then I get sad that I'm fat, and then I lose weight, and then I'm sad, and then I get fat again.
With me, it's just like it's a different cycle with me. It's like I'll start working out for like 3 weeks straight, then go 3 weeks without working out, then go 3 weeks with working out.
What do you do for working out?
I'll like.
I never once see you work out in my whole life. So that's
Oh
bad.
yeah, literally, I don't go to the gym. F that. And especially now, I still don't trust them germy little dumbbells. I'd rather just do those little IG workouts. You'll see like those 30-second clips. Like, all right, do 10 of these, 3 sets. And I'm like, all right, hold on. All right, let me screen record this because I can't. All right, bet. And I'll put it up right there next to my toilet. I'm like this. Oh, one hand. Ah, fuck. And then you do that shit where you're just like leaning off the bathtub and you're like pushing up.
I
And
do.
the crunches with your legs up and shit.
There's this woman on YouTube named Yoga with Sarah Beth, and that's who
I started doing it now because of you.
Isn't she really good?
She's like yoga.
Yeah, it's yoga, but they
I
have
need to get
like
into it.
ab workouts and stuff too that are really good. And her voice is really calming, and the way that she teaches it is really good. And I do it every single day, and it's funny. I was listening to an interview with Cesar Millan. You know Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer?
Yeah, I love him.
And he was saying, like, dogs every morning stretch. Like, every time a dog wakes up, they stretch. Like, we got to do that, too.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I didn't do yoga in the morning one day. I did in the afternoon, and I was sore for the rest of the day. Like, I love doing yoga now every morning.
Should you do it at night then, so you're not sore when you wake?
No, I was sore because I hadn't done my yoga in the morning, so, like, my muscles were still stiff.
Your
and
muscles were
stuff.
saying, "Yo, the
Stretch
fuck."
us out.
Right,
yeah.
you're like, all right, so it's like you have sex with somebody, you just don't hit them up. Like, all right, so bet you just gonna eat my ass and not hit me up.
I was ghosting my ass.
Everybody love everybody.
So yoga was like,
I was eating abs ass.
right. So yoga showed up at your door like, oh, you really thought.
It's been 9 months. There's a baby inside me.
Oh, wow. Damn. If you go 9 months without yoga, they're really going to F you up, man.
No, but it's good. I've been doing push. I lift now. I've been fucking getting swole.
Word. Yeah, your arms do look a little more, like,
Do you want me to
compact.
flex on camera?
Yeah, flex on camera real
I'm
quick.
not flexing on
Take your
camera.
shirt off.
I actually showed my stomach the last episode.
I'm weak.
Yeah, because our last guest, the Evan Zigman, he had 2 belly buttons.
Hold
See
the
the
fuck
belly
up, and y'all
button
just let him walk out the door without letting me see them? Like,
You're
that's
gonna have
crazy.
to watch the episode.
All right,
man.
I'll
He
do that.
showed-
Watch the episode, and watch the episode, too, if y'all want to see
Hey,
2 belly buttons.
if you're listening to this, I just want you to know, if you go on YouTube, you only have to watch 30 seconds for it to be a view. So click a random 30 seconds, watch it, turn it off, and a couple days, go back, watch another.
Literally. And it's, honestly, if you're watching this on YouTube, read the Bible a little bit. If you want to. If it's been a long day of dealing with some bullshit, you know, reading the Bible is not the worst way to go about it. You know, you can just, it's really all about self-help. At the end of the day, you want to feel, not empty, but you don't want to feel pressure inside it. You want to feel like you're a good type of empty. Not empty like you're missing something, but an empty like you don't have just toxic energy inside of you.
Yeah.
Manifesting from stress and insecurity and just hopelessness.
Yeah. Something people might have noticed, or listeners not, but watchers, is I wear rap t-shirts every single day.
You do a lot.
I'm not wearing one today. It's bathing. It's not a rap tee, but it's a rap. It's a rap brand.
It's a culture thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, literally.
They call me a vulture.
No.
Vulture.
No.
Only when I wear the fucking
The
fanny pack
fanny
over
pack?
my chest. That's when you know I.
When you wear this fanny over your thing.
I've only done that a few times. It's really great for carrying the Bible.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I use it. It's legal to carry the Bible in it. I can
Yeah.
carry up to an ounce of the Bible in my.
You know
fanny
what
pack.
sucks is that they don't have free Bibles in hotels.
That would be crazy.
I mean, they do, but
That
not
would
the
be
Bibles
crazy.
I want.
Because if we can put alcohol in the hotels, oh, they charge you for that. It's like what, 75 cents a second. You pour the cup or something at a nice hotel. It's like, oh, 75, $1.
What have
$9.
you been listening to recently?
Podcast wise,
Do you listen to podcasts?
I'm trying to get more. I'm trying to get more into them.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I want to know what I was thinking music, but if you're listening to podcasts, I love podcast inception, talking about podcasts on podcasts.
On podcasts, podceptions. So, yeah, I'm like,
We should have a separate intro for a mini podcast in the podcast, like Podception.
I was gonna F my brains
Can
up.
we cut that out? Can you mark that time where we're just going Podception?
Yes,
Pod
it's in the
session.
last 5 minutes of the show.
But yeah, like
Excuse me.
I be getting.
You know?
Yo, nah. But Midnight Gospel I've been having on repeat.
Oh,
I'm
that
trying.
show's fucking good.
Yeah, that
Dude,
show
so
did
good.
something different to me.
Yeah.
That altered my sense of thinking a little bit more than
Shouts out Duncan Trussell.
right. Literally, he's an intelligent human being. Like I really learned a lot, and the people he has on the show are just kind of open my mind to different interpretations of it.
So that's all based off a podcast called the
Yeah.
Duncan Trussell Family Hour. That's
Yeah.
really good. What episode do you like? Like, what's your favorite? Mine's the one in the jail.
The jail.
The jail when they keep breaking out and getting a little farther.
Oh
That
yeah, and
one's
that one
fucking-
f my whole head up.
Yeah, I cried at the last one with his mom. I'm not.
The
gonna
mother,
lie.
yeah, I was about to say the Mother's Day one I loved a lot. The one that really made me go, oh shit, for like the longest time was the zombie one. The doctor came
with
on.
Dr. Drew.
Yeah, he came on the show and said he doesn't like the idea of there being an idea of a good or bad drug. It's just drugs. It's
Yeah.
it's a natural component, and
That's why I lost all this weight on crystal meth.
yeah, no snitching, but he just says that the way we manipulate them and interact with them, it's the consequences that could be good or bad. We shouldn't be labeling things as good or bad. So I kind of interpreted that with the way people live life. If you want to live life a certain way that's against the status quo of what you've been taught or used to, then that you can't label that good or bad.
I think that's true. I think that's kind of how we became friends
We just
during
didn't-
colleges. We both had our own thing. We didn't like.
We didn't like the
our
status quo.
college was very like
Yeah.
everyone had to follow
was
a
set
certain
in motion,
Exactly.
right? And I didn't like that because it makes me feel trapped.
Yeah.
And not to say that, again, not to downplay anybody who does sign on to one label. It doesn't mean you're somebody as a person, unless you're trying to control how other people live, which is like women's rights, body rights, civil rights, all that. You know, you sign on to what you sign on to.
There's unlimited genders.
but you know, it's like, you believe in what you believe in. Don't force it upon me. Like, if you're conservative, I'm not gonna want to fight you, you know. But don't put your MAGA hat in my face. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're, it's something I've also had to understand. Like, if you're transgender, I'm understanding more and more. It's like, I just want you to be happy. I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't give a fuck what your name's gonna be, what your gender's gonna be. I don't care what gender you label as. I just want you to be happy and just. And I don't understand everything. Don't rush me.
That's not off topic.
No. That was I bet.
Oh.
Like, I'm emphasizing you.
Nah, but
No,
yeah.
off topic is the gun.
Oh, right.
Nah.
Right, guys, you be talking too much about Jesus and shit. You know?
We're getting too religious.
Yeah, way too religious.
Man, they
Holy
didn't
Ghost is everywhere.
Man, they didn't take religion out of politics and out of people's lives. I swear. Well, not the good
Nah,
religion.
I think they need to get religion into politics.
Oh yeah, that's facts.
They need to get
get
these politicians religious as fuck.
the world would be a little bit better if we just all
You're
got a
right.
little religious. A
They're
little
gonna
bit.
cut that out, and I'm gonna get I'm not gonna get canceled for the Jew comments, and I'm gonna get canceled for that right there.
I think if everybody at the legal age went to church.
My milkman was Jewish, and my dad's short, so.
Bro, I think if everybody went to church at a legal age, we'd all be just chill. We'd be chilling. We'd honestly be
Chilling
chilling.
like a villain.
Literally.
Except, this is the last point, Ani. I know you want to get out of here.
No, I'm good. I'm chilling,
Is
dude.
I've had friends who
chilling.
got religious too early,
Right.
and it really they are very they're nervous people because of it. I think you have to be a
I've
little
seen that.
older. You have to be able to handle life properly and then
Right.
add that onto it, not
Right.
try to develop your life.
It's like
'Cause I was
going from
18,
0 to
'cause
100.
'cause I was 18. I already
I was
had,
18 too when I first learned
yeah, I
about
already
Jesus.
developed some sense of comfort
Me
with who
too.
I am in
Yeah.
my environment.
I already dealt with high school.
Right,
like,
exactly.
you know,
That's the
like,
biggest. That was the biggest
You
test of
shouldn't
my
you
young
shouldn't
life.
be reading the Bible in high school.
You really shouldn't. It's the biggest test of your life, and it's the biggest developmental part of your young life. In college,
Yeah.
you grow more, but you're also you're maturing more. Your brain can handle more.
Well, you're also exposed to so much more
Yeah, it's
outside
true.
your comfort zone when you go to, like, you know, the next stage
Right.
after high
Especially
school.
if you're like a small town person going to like NYU.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Remember when
saying?
Max
Even
was like,
if
I'm
you
gonna
don't
get
go to
read the Bible
college,
every day.
And he did.
that regiment is no longer there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So even if you're not going to any kind of like education afterwards, still like you have to
That's why I had to dorm, because if I stayed
remain.
in my neighborhood, I would not have been able to, expose myself to more and prepare myself to more. So
That's
like,
how I felt too.
you shouldn't do it in high school, because I just think that you're not really that ready for it.
Yeah.
18, 19, okay, yeah, try it, but be responsible.
Hey man, thank you for being on this.
Of
I
course,
love you.
bro.
I'm happy we're doing this.
Of course, man.
Let's play the
anytime.
outro. Oh, do you want to plug your Instagram? You're actually an Instagram influencer.
I dabble in it time to time. I like just
Julio
thinking about
pays
random.
more. He takes some pretty sexy pictures of himself.
I-
So
I-
follow him at,
I'm alright.
follow him at Poppy Cantu.
Papi Cantu.
Follow me at Sam C. Buck.
You know
This
it.
has been Bucked Up. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Ani and Julio.
Follow this Bucked Up on Instagram,
Oh yeah,
right?
follow Bucked Up Podcast on Instagram. You can listen on Apple, Spotify, watch on YouTube. I love you all, and remember to read your Bibles.
Of course.